need your vote, you think it count? The check you cash and shit then bounce. Egg prices really high. Damn. You worried about it, look to the sky. Damn. Praying by your bed at night. Damn. The pressure's on, the shit is tight. Damn. Your life is wrong, you living right. Damn. You wanna leave it all tonight. Nobody can help you now. Don't try to call out now. You screaming, begging, asking please. Yeah, while praying down on your knees. It won't make a bit of difference. It won't make a bit of difference. Think you safe, think you fine. Yeah, lose your sanity, lose your mind. It won't make a bit of difference. It won't make a bit of difference. You think you safe, think you fine. Lose your sanity, lose your mind. Struggling through the land. Yeah. There's wars going on in the sand. Yeah. Over in the motherland. Damn. Where God used to walk, man. Damn. Jews is mad, Arabs too. Yeah. They killing children, what we do. Yeah. They shoot us up at the school. Damn. They all out there breaking rules. Yeah. They don't give a damn no more. Yeah. They not even trying to look at the score. No. Killing everywhere. Yeah. Goddamn, nobody cares. It won't make a bit of difference. Yeah. Yeah. It won't make a bit of difference. Yeah. Yeah. Think you safe, think you fine. You think. Lose your sanity, lose your mind. Yeah. It won't make a bit of difference. Yeah. It won't make a bit of difference. Yeah. You think you safe, think you fine. Lose your sanity, lose your mind. Let's go. What up, y'all? Welcome to the Corner Store Podcast. I am your host, OMD300, aka Doc Savage, the man of bronze. Thank you for being here. It's August 2026, one of the hottest summers on record across the country, especially California, where we hail from, where Corner Store TV is based, where I grew up, in the city I know, in the state of California that I know. Things haven't been this bad in the United States as far as the government, as far as local government, as far as weather, as far as natural disasters, as far as the war, as far as anything concerning the economy of not only the United States, but the world at large. That says a lot about what's going on today. But before I get into any and all of what I think about any of those things, I have to report some stuff about personal stuff about the channel, about how we're going to be moving forward with the channel on YouTube and so forth. If you didn't know, I have been demonetized. It's been going on for the last 2 months because of some content issues YouTube drummed up after I made inquiries about a $140 payment that they were supposed to provide me from the monetization portion of us on the channel or being on YouTube as a whole. When I made that stink to their live chat to the, I guess, corporate office or whoever, whatever they are, all of a sudden I started getting my channel scrutinized with a hard lens and a microscope to find any insufficiencies or deficits or any materials that they could say that would constitute me being demonetized. They went through my channel with a fine-tooth comb. With that said, I recently did again and went and scrubbed. I went to my channel again, to YouTube Studio, or Studio, the Studio, YouTube Studio app, and I scrubbed every notice, every video that had any kind of notice on it, even if it could be used still on YouTube. Because sometimes you can post things and they'll say, well, it's been muted. This particular video has been muted in some countries or some regions of the world. I took down any and all discrepancies YouTube said I had, or notified me and say, well, you can use this, but you can't make any money off of it, or this is content. So I would put up a video of Nas or something, a song or something like that, or music. All of my track vibe episodes, not all of them, but a lot of them have been taken down. That's another thing. Track vibe, you will not be able to see, listen, or hear any more track vibe content. That's over and done with. There will be no more track vibe. I'm sorry. There are some people who actually like track vibe and like listening to the instrumentals and the beats that I might possibly use to make music on and create albums with. Guess what? Until I make those songs or use that track, that's the only way you're going to be able to hear it from now on. No more track vibe. That's over with. Anything musically inclined, anything dealing with music other than my music, other than if it's OMD300 music, those that are, when I have a live stream, the My Music live stream, that's or I have a new artist music review or artist music review show. Those shows I'll continue to create. But it seems like a lot of these artists, whether they're hip hop or R&B or whatever, they're not reaching out to me anymore. There's a whole shitload of people that are doing that content now. Some of the people who are making their own music are starting to do their own content and they're premiering their own music. And that's what I started doing. I just started having my own My Music content show where I just play all of the music that I've created over the last couple of years. And I'm going to continue to do that. Any new music that I create will be featured. Will be featured right here on the channel. Will be featured on the channel. And that's it. As far as track vibe or anything like that, no longer will you be able to see or listen to any of those videos or any of those live streams. YouTube is like hitting me with a fine-tooth comb. They are going over, they have demonetized me until the end of September when I can reapply for monetization again. So in order for me to be, in my mind, up to par to their so-called code of conditions, I went through my through my whole channel and I basically scrubbed it and cleaned it up and got everything that could be even construed something against YouTube policies or code of conduct or usage of so-called materials that ain't mine. I scrubbed that stuff. All right. So there should be no problem with me being reinstated. There should be no problem with me being reinstated monetization wise on YouTube. At least I'm thinking that. I don't know that for sure because to be honest with you, I believe that they did this on purpose because I mentioned to them that they hadn't paid me and they bound it over to the next month. Last month was July, which they had moved my payment to that date. And it was weird. So I had to let you guys know the changes that are happening on Corner Store Television. Shows like Comic Book Corner or Comic Content Corner, those content shows will still be utilized. You'll be able to see that when I make that. I'm gonna find some comic book material as well as upcoming films, and we'll be discussing some of that stuff. I probably should have had a comic book corner in regards to all of the MCU, or there's a whole lot of racial stuff going on in every aspect of life, music, film. They're trying to scrub any black starring. The only thing that they're so-called promoting is Black Panther. For some reason, because of the success of Ryan Coogler, not only at doing a Black Panther film, the Fruitvale Station, Sinners, I believe that if they were to kind of try to, there's still people that talk negatively about what this man is doing. Don't get it wrong. Anything that we do, if you got this skin color, anything that we do, even if it's successful to the masses, is going to be criticized so vehemently. This last decade, these last 10 years, a wound has been, like the scab of a wound of this country has been peeled off, and we're bleeding again, metaphorically, in the sense of the attack on Black and brown culture. More Black than brown. I know they're on Hispanics' heads. I mean, Hispanics of every nationality, from Cuban, I think Haitians speak French and Spanish. I'm not sure. Hell, we're such a melting pot in this world where you can go to Colombia and see every skin color you can think of. I don't understand why we're still at the point where race and color of your skin is a thing. The darker skinned people get dogged out because I believe in my heart of hearts that they know darker skinned people were the first people on this planet. So whenever anyone sees somebody dark, I don't care if it's in India, Pakistan, Middle East, Egypt, Spain, Colombia, I don't care. If you're darker skinned, you're going to be shunned. You are going to be shunned if you are a darker skinned person of any nationality. French, if you're a German dark skin, guess what? They're coming for you too. Because for some reason, they have made it taboo to have dark skin. But if you're Caucasian and you want to have dark skin, like the people you supposedly hate, you go out in the sun and you put copper tone on and all these different things to darken your skin to be like the people who you really don't like. Make it make sense. That's the kind of world we're living in, where the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as the DC Cinematic Universe, is trying to scrub all of the Black starred ventures or comic book films. Hell, they won't even let Don Cheadle. Now, before, if you remember, Don Cheadle became War Machine in the Iron Man films, as well as the Avenger movies and all subsequent films where War Machine was presented. The first guy, God, I don't know why I can't think of this kid's name. Every time I try to think about him, I can't think of his name. Y'all remember him from Hustle and Flow, the gentleman, the actor. He was on also. I know who it is. It's crazy. I can't think of this man's name. It's just fucking crazy because I see it. Terrence Howard. I knew it was gonna pop in my head. Terrence Howard was the original Colonel Rhodes, who would eventually become War Machine. Well, he had a dispute with the MCU back in the day over money, and they subsequently replaced him with Don Cheadle to be Colonel Rhodes and also end up being War Machine. Well, they were supposed to have a War Machine movie, canceled. The MCU had found a new Blade, canceled. They had the Ironheart series on Disney Plus, canceled. Anything with Black people in it, they canceled it. So the same could be said about a content creator like myself or any of the people I've seen on TikTok who are starting to have problems with being paid for what they're doing on these apps. They do everything correctly, everything under the guidelines of whatever the application is, just for them to tell you they're not going to pay you. So with that said, I repeat, no longer will there be any track vibe episodes. There will only be music episodes concerning new artists or my music itself. Corner Store Podcast what originally was the title of this YouTube channel. I changed it to Corner Store Television and made Corner Store Podcast its flagship content show. We're returning back to the roots of why I started this YouTube. Corner Store Podcast will be my cornerstone content show. I will be doing Corner Store Podcast everywhere now. Whenever I'm out and about, Corner Store Podcast. Whenever I have a guest, Corner Store Podcast. Whenever I'm doing an event somewhere and I put up a tent, God willing, and have t-shirts, guess what? Corner Store Podcast. The only t-shirts I'll be creating from now on is either Corner Store Television apparel, Corner Store Podcast apparel, or apparel in regards to my music. That's it. I notice I have a lot of followers. There are a lot of people who started subscribing to the channel again. They, YouTube, whether the algorithm has kicked me out to where people, I would notice that I would get some subscribers and I would go back to check. And all of a sudden, when I had 51,470 subscribers, I'd come back and it'd be 51,410. Like people left the channel for whatever reason. I know I'm being scrubbed. They're scrubbing the channel. I'm on live right now, and I'll notice at the top, if you notice right here, it shows, I don't know if you can see this, but it shows you the number of the people that are on here. I'm sure you can't see it. And it also shows you the thumbs up that they gave. If you notice, it'll go in and out. It'll be 3 people, then it'll be 1, then it'll be 0, then it'll be 4, and then it'll be 1, then it'll be 0. They're doing that. They're doing that, showing inconsistencies in the people on the live stream. That's not my doing. You go to anybody else's live, there are thousands of people on there. Money is just exchanging hands. People are being so sweet and supportive to them and looking out for them. I don't know why. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You're not going to force me to quit. You're not going to force me to quit. This is sort of a good news, bad news thing in regards to people that follow me and people that like and subscribe to the channel. And also they were members of the channel, which meant that they were getting $1 or $2 taken from their accounts every month in order to be a member of my tribe, so to speak, on YouTube. They even stopped that. And a lot of people were mad about that. They were like, damn, man, I'm trying to support you. Here they go stopping, demonetizing you, but then they still gonna try to take our money. That don't even make no fucking sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. So there is a contingent of people like myself who tell the truth and they don't like the shit. Now, it's one thing to say, well, you can't play that music. That's that's someone else's content. Okay, fine. They don't even realize when I play those beats and I tell you who's the person that made the beat, that's giving them a free motherfucking advertisement. It is. I don't know if anybody else is listening to these people's tracks or send them requests to buy their tracks. I don't know about any of that. All I know is I like the beat, so I featured it on a content show, which in turn not only helps them, but it helps me. Guess what? No longer will I be doing that. I'm sure the people who make these beats are like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to be on YouTube doing my thing. And that's true. So hence, nobody's hurting here. The YouTube can shut the fuck up and leave me alone. None of the people who created those tracks ever emailed me or ever came to me saying, stop playing my shit. The only person that said that was YouTube. So I'm trying to comply with you, YouTube. Like, look, right now, it just said a second person just popped up. Watch in a few minutes, that person's going to disappear and there'll be just one person left. There it is right there. As soon as I said it, that person disappeared. So there's a contingent that's trying to destroy what I've been trying to build, destroy what I'm trying to create, destroy the credibility of the channel, the whole thing, bro. I see it for what it is. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell the channel, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to tell YouTube, whoever don't like me and want to see me fail, you can eat a dick. You're not going to stop me. The enemy, and everybody who knows spirituality or a spiritual person like me, there's God and then there's the enemy. Guess what? The enemy not going to stop me neither. Everything I'm doing is for my self-preservation. for hopefully I can set aside a couple dollars to help me in my life and leave a legacy for my children. Either they can continue Corner Store Television or they can scrap this shit. But I'm not finna stop, man. Y'all not finna stop me. You can try. The only thing you can do is delete my whole shit, just like TikTok did. I've had 3 or 4 TikTok channels, and my most successful TikTok channel got over 20,000 subscribers. And for some reason, TikTok banned me because I was raising hell on TikTok, talking shit, and also putting up some really, really incredible content from past cartoons, animations, all types of different things. People was loving my channel. I was getting all kind of praises. Oh, I remember this. This was great. If those people are seeing my channel and they're saying, "Oh, I remember this. I remember this. I remember this," that meant other people and other channels that they were watching were not putting the same things on that I was. So that made it rare. That's not, they were saying, "Oh, you're using content to other people's content." No, I wasn't. I was using shit that I saw that I thought was amazing. And I posted it. And people were seeing it going, "I remember Johnny Quest. I remember this animated film Heavy Metal. I remember this. I remember that." And TikTok knew eventually they were going to have to do what? Pay me. So they banned me. It is what it is. With that said, they opened the live stream. I'm just letting you guys know there's some huge changes that are happening. Huge changes that are happening on Corner Store Television YouTube. Please do me a favor. Every time you see a live stream, whichever one I'm going to post from here on in, soon as you enter the room, please hit the thumbs up unless you're here to just gawk. And maybe some people that I know in my life that jumps on my live to say, "Oh, look at old Dex, old bitch ass nigga. Fuck him. I don't want him to succeed." So you don't hit the thumbs up. You just sit there and watch. You maybe even have some friends in the room. "I remember when this nigga used to be on the couch over at Wheelhouse or this, that, and the third," and you laughing. That's cool. But if it's anybody who don't know me or whatever, and you're interested in what I'm saying, intrigued, whatever, just hit that thumbs up. It'll help me in this whack ass bullshit algorithm. And maybe I can pop out and branch out and bust out, and really get widespread, followship, so to speak. But I'm here today on Corner Store Podcast, which is usually Tuesday and Thursday. But I'm going to start just doing Corner Store Podcast whenever the fuck I want to. There's no more episodes. I used to count episodes back in the day, like episode 1, this episode. I don't give a shit. This could be episode 1500. I don't fucking know anymore. I don't care. I'm not going to line them up like that anymore. I know I'm Corner Store Television, and I was trying my best to actually become, and my still eventual goal is to turn Corner Store TV into an actual channel like Me TV, Get TV, Action TV, all of these different fucking small fledgling television channels that are doing well. They're selling advertisement on their channels. And they also have pretty good content. One day, before I leave this earth, you're going to see Corner Store Television on your local direct TV or whatever you do or however you watch television. One day, you're going to see Corner Store TV as a channel on your streaming service or whatever the fuck you watch. And you're going to be watching Battlestar Galactica reruns, the old one from back in the 1980s. You're going to be seeing martial arts theater, black belt theater, kung fu theater, whichever one I end up coming with. You're going to see movies like Passenger 57. You're going to see movies like maybe Universal Soldier, the first one, and not the subsequent bullshit ones that came out afterwards. All of these, whatever I can afford to purchase as programming for Corner Store Television in the future, I'm like the $6 Million Man. I used to love Lee Majors. I might have that on there. Of course, I'm going to have black content too. But if you remember back in the day, black people didn't have a whole lot of people to watch on their channel as far as black people. So we enjoyed whatever these white people put out, as long as it wasn't too stupid or racist. And Lee Majors was great as a $6 Million Man. All the black people I knew loved that show. We used to like watching old Steve do his shit. So it's nostalgic. I respect it. So, and I love it because that's what I love to do on my channel, is to show all of the, you've seen the movie clips that I have. If I can get Scarface and put it on Corner Store Television, it'll be on there. if I can afford to have it. So remember, my ultimate goal is to take Corner Store Television, that brand, and to move that over into the wide mainstream of things and have a TV channel that's 24 hours and you can get up in the middle of the night when you can't sleep, turn on Corner Store Podcast, my apologies, y'all. Corner Store Television on whatever application or whatever company you're using to entertain yourself television wise. And you could wake up and pop you some popcorn at 2 a.m. because you got insomnia, turn on KSTV and see an old Western that you like Silverado or what's that one with Russell Crowe and Christian Bale? Um, the something out of Yuma. I forget the name of it. I like the movie so much. 310 out of Yuma, like a train leaving Yuma, some shit like that. But it was really cool. Or maybe even I don't think I'll ever get this show. There's a film that I really like that Tom Hanks did because Tom Hanks, regardless of what people may think of him, he's a really good actor. I remember when that motherfucker was on Bosom Buddies on ABC, where he played him and his friend dressed up as women because they couldn't afford the apartments in New York. So they went into an all women building because the rent was cheap. So they had to pretend that they were women. That shit was funny. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I used to watch that show all the time. It was hilarious. But he started in very small circumstances and became one of Hollywood's greatest actors. I'll admit that. I don't know his personal life. I know one of his sons is a weirdo and wants to be a rapper and everything. One of his other son that looks just like him is an actor and he's doing his thing. But he has another son that's a problem child. It seems like most of these people, just because they're rich and you see them, they're just like us. They're just like us. They have problem children. Just having millions of dollars is not going to stop your child from being a nut. It's not. Parenting, giving them guidance, is doing the best you can. And sometimes even when you cross all your T's and dot all your I's with your kids, they still turn out to be horrible people because that's just what's in them, being a horrible fucking person. For whatever reason, when they was born, maybe a demon got it. I don't know. All I know is money can't buy your kid being the best version of themselves, even if you try your best to be the best parent, not whoop them all the time, take them to karate, take them to your local psychologist or social worker, whatever you try to do. Some things just are not going to work, and they'll have to figure it out in their head. You can't medicate them. You can only spiritually battle these demons. And a perfect example is Rob Reiner, the director, famously played Meathead or Michael Stivic on All in the Family with Carol O'Connor. His son murdered him and his wife last year. Murdered them right there in Brentwood, a famous rich area of Los Angeles. Mansions all over the place. There's been some horrible things that have happened in Brentwood, from the murder of O.J. Simpson's former wife, Nicole Simpson, to Rob Reiner's son killing. There's a lot of other murders and home invasions that you'll never hear about that happened in Brentwood that never made the news. The only reason why those particular stories made the news is because the people were so famous that you had to put it out there. But what about the people who aren't famous? The dentists, the doctors, the lawyers, the business people who don't have that notoriety, where their houses were broken into and they were subsequently murdered, or the woman was raped and all this. Where you live in California will not save you from being killed or somebody breaking in your house and taking your ass the fuck out. Money's not going to save you. Money's not going to raise your children. It's just not. But what money can do for you is give you the wherewithal to have the best living conditions and the best opportunities to invest to make more money to help people. That's where the fucking line gets drawn. A lot of times, a lot of these bad negative things happen to people because they know that these people are rich and they could give a damn about somebody being poor. I don't think that's right, that something should happen to them negatively because they are very stingy or greedy ass person. But a lot of times, what happens negatively to you is wrapped around the karma that you create in the world. I can literally look this camera and look at you people in this live stream in the eye and say this honestly. If I ever make a bunch of money, there will be a lot of people in need that are going to fucking be happy. Shout out to this guy, Damon Darling. There's this cat named Damon Darling who used to be on drugs, was an alcoholic, and he used to be homeless. Guess what? I used to be homeless. Never had a whole lot of problems with substance abuse, but economically, my ass has had problems ever since I've been an adult. Period. Damon Darling got his life together, started a TikTok, and now he's over 3.5 million followers. And he was just banned from Walmart. He was just banned from Walmart because he was paying for people's groceries, paying it forward. That should tell you everything about the world that we live in. The devil runs this fucking world, this whole big ass pebble that we call the earth. He runs it. Walmart should be celebrating. They're still making money. That man goes in there and pays for these people groceries. Guess what? There was a monetary exchange that happened for the groceries those people wanted to buy. Why in the fuck would Walmart have a problem with that? Why? I'll tell you why. It's because it goes against the code of not giving a shit. Or it goes against the code. Exactly. I was right the first time. It goes against the code of not giving a shit about people. It goes against the code of capitalism where you try to make as much money as you can off of everybody's ass, no matter what their circumstances are. We are living in a very dastardly and crazy times, people. We're living in time. I ain't going to say the end times no more because I have no fucking clue when God is going to decide that this place is not deemed worthy to exist anymore. I have no fucking clue when that's going to happen. And I'm not going to speculate because I love life, no matter how bad life is, no matter how terrible things go on, no matter how many bills hit my fucking mailbox versus checks. I love my life to be able to wake up and breathe and to look and see the big ass goof. And I can't stand these grapefruit trees on my property that I live on. But I'm going to tell you right now, the fact that I have grapefruit trees and God made it to where we have fruit just grow in certain places, because tell me where you can go and just grab some fruit off a tree in America. They have stopped people from being able to do that because they want to force you to go to that grocery store and buy the fruits and vegetables they tell you to buy. And some of those have diseases in them that are killing people right now. Right now, ladies and gentlemen. We live in a very, very divisive world because it's not about the people's division. It's about the spiritual division of people. There's a spiritual aspect on the division of people. What makes somebody go out there, see someone walking in a park, and they just walk up to them, who you are? Why are you in here? You're not supposed. What spirit is in you to make you do something like that? There's demonic spirits all over this planet forcing these people to do things that they know damn well they shouldn't be doing. And have such, hey, you don't even know me. You see my skin and you just get enraged. Rah, nigga. What the fuck? Liam Neeson, an actor who I actually like as an actor. And Liam Neeson has been in some films that I've seen that I read. He was in a movie with Patrick Swayze called something Brotherhood or something like that years ago. One of the first times I saw him. I don't even realize Liam Neeson was the guy who was in that movie called FX. Was it FX? Not FX. Oh God, what was the name of that movie? God damn it. I can't think of it to save my life. But anyway, that was the first time I ever saw Liam Neeson in that film back in the 80s. He had a story where supposedly one of his family members or close friends' dog, somebody, a young white woman, was subsequently raped by a black man. Now, that happens. Well, there are white men out there raping the shit and pedophiling the shit out of kids. We all know this. But because that man happened to be black, Liam Neeson said this himself. he was very contrite about him thinking this way and all that, but I still got to call him to task on it. He said I don't know if it was Jay Leno, I forget which one it was, but he said that at that time, he was so upset that he heard that this happened to this young lady that he knew. I don't remember if she was a family member or not, that he went out a few nights after that looking for a situation where he could kill a black person, a black man, because he was so angry. What do you think spirituality or spirit put that into this man's head? Now you'll say, oh, it was just him. It was just him. For him to even be able to articulate that he was wrong later in life, because really, if you think that way and you went out and did that, you should continue to feel the way you feel about it. You just won't act on it like you were considering doing back then, but you just don't, that. But for him to figure out later on in life as he got older that what that motivation of him to do that was wrong says a lot about spirituality. Now there is a spiritual being or entity that has entered his mind and said, look, the way you was thinking back then was fucking stupid. And I want you to go in front of the world and confess that you thought that way. He didn't have to do that. I'll give him points for that. But if you don't think there's some kind of a spiritual or demonic energy everywhere in every nook and cranny of this fucking world that is waiting for an opportunity to get into your psyche and to whisper in your ear that you should do this, that, and the third, you're crazy. And karma is a real thing. What you do will come back on you, i.e. that Zimmerman motherfucker who killed Trayvon Martin. He's homeless now. No one will hire him. No one will rent to him. Now he's on the street. Karma is a real thing. The cop that killed Sonia Massey, karma is a real thing. Derek Chauvin, who put his knee on the neck of that black gentleman and subsequently suffocated him to death on national TV, got his ass stabbed up in prison. Karma is real. And you might not get what's coming to you through other means, but eventually there will be a reckoning. Remember that. There will be a reckoning. All you black gangbangers out there shooting other black young men over some perceived bullshit narrative about this neighborhood over that neighborhood, or that nigga dissed the hood. And one of my old homeboys tried to want to fight me over this so-called code, where I was talking about a young lady that he was dating, that I said, man, you tripping off of this tramp? This nigga like, man, you dissing the hood. You dissing the hood. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm talking about that girl you brought over here the other day. Nah, nigga, don't use that word. What word? Tramp, nigga, that's dissing the hood. That's the kind of people we deal with. That's the kind of mentalities that we deal with in this fucking world. You ain't mad because you can't read. You ain't mad because you ain't got a job. You ain't mad because you out here gangbanging and you're not mad that you went to prison, nigga, and it took better part of 13, 14 years of your life, which you could have, in those times when when you could have been out, you could have became a millionaire. You could have bought a lottery ticket and hit six figures. But you worried about the most stupid fucking things. We have to get out of this doldrum and this demonic possession that we're under. We're under tremendously hard demonic influence all the time, man. Anyway, initially I started this live stream to report good and bad news. The bad news, obviously, there will be no more music live streams other than a live stream where I'm presenting my music, or if someone was to come to me and say, "Oh, well, I got an album coming out. Could you please review it on your show?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, you please, by all means, send me a donation to this, Cash App or uh, whatever, and I'll do that. I'll feature you on the show." Other than that, the only shows you're going to see from now on, or live streams you're going to see from now on, is Corner Store Podcast or Chilling with Dex episodes or anything like that, where I'm doing my thing somewhere and talk, whatever. I have good news though. There's some legal news that I got today about some personal things that is looking up, and I'm, God willing, in the next 2 months. I'm praying it'll be sooner than that. I'm praying that the parties involved in this situation on the other side of it, not my side of it, but on the other side, just finally says, okay, let's get this shit over with. Let's handle this and let's wipe the slate clean. Because once that happened, I think I'll be in a better situation. The next thing is the GoFundMe that I posted on this live stream right here. In about a week, I'm going to be deleting that GoFundMe. I've raised by total, because of $100. A wonderful ex female friend of mine, not really ex female friend. She's still my friend, but I mean ex in like, us having some kind of a romantic thing. We're still very cool. She saw that I was, having some difficulties, so she sent me $100. I couldn't be more blessed by her doing that. Thank you so much. I would call her name, but I'm gonna leave her name out of it, as well as the other people who have contributed. I've already mentioned them on other live streams and other content. So to date, I had raised over $710. Adding that $100 in, it's 610 if you go on the GoFundMe. If you want to contribute now before I close this shit out, that'd be great. I would love that. Shout out to Uptown Kitty DC, who lives in Atlanta, Georgia, or in Georgia. I'm sorry. And her contribution, I only say that to her because I was trying to talk to her personally on the phone earlier, but obviously she was busy. And I'll probably reach out to her later on and discuss some personal stuff I wanted to chop it up with her about. But she's a contributor, as well as my man Demetrius from Athens, Pennsylvania. Marcus Banks has been a monetary contributor of mine, not through the GoFundMe. He was actually sending this to me when I was monetized. He was sending me super chats here on YouTube, as well as money to my Cash App, which I thought was amazing and still do. He will always be my homeboy. The love I have for bro, not even ever meeting him face to face, is, I don't even know what else to say, man. The love, love, love. Shout out to Sincere Austin. Shout out to my man, Scene 13. God rest his soul. I was told recently that Scene 13 passed away in an auto accident. One of his friends, who is a friend to the channel, so to speak, had sent me a message stating that he had passed away. I'm looking at some stuff outside the window here. A bunch of cars pulling up. It's weird. Or parking or something, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, all of you people who've been live stream or subscribers as well as members, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Continue to be that. Corner Store Television is not going anywhere. It's just some of this content that I've put up. Some types of the content I put up and no longer be doing that. I'll no longer be doing that for the simple fact that YouTube is playing this content game with me, saying your stuff's not original and da 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 da. So everything I'm gonna be doing is gonna be original. It'll be original music I'm making and all of that, and it'll be original shit from people making their own personal music and everything like that. So I don't want to hear shit from YouTube about nothing. And if I do get reinstated at the end of my birthday month, next month, September, that'll be all well and good, and we'll keep going, and I'll keep figuring this shit out as we go. If they don't, that's fine too. It's not like I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna still keep doing my thing. As of to date, let me check this out. Hold on a second. 1 second, I'll give you the stats. See, it's going up again. As of today, I am at 51,530 subscribers. As of today, 51,530 subscribers. So I busted out of that little bullshit they were doing where they were taking my stuff down. I'd get subscribers, they'd pull them down. I'd get subscribers, they pull them down. It's very fucking weird. Someone there at YouTube is consciously trying to sabotage my growth. I'm halfway to 100,000. When you get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, they're supposed to send you a plaque. That plaque is going to be displayed somewhere. I'm probably going to hold it up, and I'm going to be very proud because this is a long time coming. I've been working my ass off in the garage, in the heat, in the cold, interviewing people, buying fucking gifts for people. None of these people that have been on my channel could say they didn't get something by coming on this channel. Some kind of liquor, stickers, fucking all kind of shit. I gave all kind of things to people, show my gratitude for them fucking with the channel and doing this shit with no money, nothing, no budget, no help, no love, nothing. So thank y'all so much for that. 51,000. Let me see if somebody else. No, it's 51,530 at this point right now. And that's crazy. Thank you so much for that. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Corner Store Television Europe, that is no longer a thing. We're going to be deleting that channel. Sorry to say, it's just not gaining any speed. I've tried to promote it, and the content on there was pretty good. Some of it was mine, and a lot of it was European hip hop. I love Best, my homeboy Matthew, who lives in Nantes, France. I started that, or I told him to start that, and sent him the banners for it and all that. And we wanted to kind of have a version of Corner Store TV that was in Europe. It just wasn't working out. I guess I don't know if he was promoting it over there, and people were like, "Yeah, fuck that shit," or wasn't really subscribing. I don't know really how he was doing his thing. He's in France. I mean, I don't know what he was doing to promote it or whatever, but it just wasn't resonating, as well as YouTube stopping me from being able to do live streams with him across the pond. I can do live streams with people here domestically in the States, but for some reason, they won't let me go live together with somebody who's in Europe. Go fig. I'm telling you, I just really believe that YouTube is really trying to sabotage what I'm trying to create and build. And I'm saying that straight on this live stream. If YouTube sees this, hey, you see it. It is what it is. That's my opinion. I should be able to have it. And you shouldn't try to destroy me because I have an opinion about what you guys do. I don't hate y'all or nothing. I'm on your fucking platform trying to make something happen in my life, and also trying to inform people and entertain them at the same fucking time. So I don't understand. I don't get it. But it is what it is. I ain't gonna sit over here and cry over spilt milk, but I will bring that shit to light. With all that said, man, I'm gonna have to I'm going to some of the sound bites that I wanted to play.
There's a creepy theory
that I've got locked in. And here's the first one.
Did you know a single jury rule sent thousands of black men to prison in Louisiana, and one of them came back to destroy it? Norris Henderson was 20 years old when he walked into Angola, Louisiana State Penitentiary. The prison sat on a former slave plantation, and incarcerated men still worked those same fields. Norris maintained his innocence every single day of the 27 years he spent inside. When he got out, he could have walked away. Most people would have. But Norris had spent decades studying exactly what he believed broke him. Louisiana had a Jim Crow-era law that let 10 out of 12 jurors convict a man. No unanimous verdict required. no full agreement needed. He co-founded Voice of the Experienced and helped lead the fight to kill that rule. In 2018, Louisiana voters passed Amendment 2, finally requiring unanimous jury verdicts. One of the last states in America to get there. Norris didn't chase vague justice. He found the exact law he believed ruined his life, and he went back and erased it. Did you know a single jury rule?
Did y'all know about that? Did y'all know that story? Well, you just heard it here on Corner Store Podcast.
A U.S. Navy ship has been at sea for 200 days straight, and sailors are trying to jump overboard. Here's what we know. Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal sent a letter to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and other U.S. Navy officials Wednesday expressing concern about the conditions on board the USS Abraham Lincoln, which has been deployed for more than 250 days due to the war in Iran. Around 200 family members of the 5,000 sailors and Marines on board told Navy leaders at a town hall meeting last week that their loved ones had exhibited deteriorated mental and physical health as the ship's conditions worsen after 9 months without returning to land. Reports from Stars and Stripes and the Navy Times, two prominent U.S. military news outlets, say that multiple crew members made attempts to jump overboard. Blumenthal's letter cited numerous reports of shortages of basic supplies, water contamination, plumbing issues, and disruptions in the mail system. Families at the meeting described moldy showers, broken toilets, no hot water for weeks, and meals that came down to half a cup of rice and 2 tortillas, according to California Rep. Mike Levin. One family member reportedly stated that the ship's own doctor warned they needed to reach port soon or people are going to start losing their minds. The U.S. Navy denied the allegations in a statement to CNN, claiming that they have not observed an increase in suicidal ideations or attempts aboard the ship. Blumenthal wrote that the Defense Department owes the service members on board not only adequate supplies, maintenance, and support during this deployment, but a sustainable fourth-generation model that does not rely on repeatedly extending sailors and ships to meet persistent operational demands.
Did you know that? Did you know that some of the sailors in the military in this last calendar year have started committing suicide because Donald Trump's got them out there in the middle of the ocean for over 200 days, damn near a fucking year, in the middle of the ocean on an aircraft carrier where the toilets are backing up. I was in the military. I'm going to tell you right now, everybody is raised differently. When you're on duty battery where you're cleaning the latrines and you're cleaning the hallways and the whole goddamn barracks, you find out how nasty motherfuckers are. There's been times I've come in the bathroom and nobody ain't flushed the toilets. There's dookie floating in there. How do you take a shit? What kind of a life or family life you have where you take a shit and you don't even flush the toilet? And remember, they ain't flushed the toilet and there's no toilet paper in the toilet, which meant that they didn't wipe their ass either. And if they did, they used their hand. Yeah. And you want them to stay on a ship for over 200 days with backed up plumbing and toilets and showers where you better fucking put on some flip-flops or you will get the most horrendous foot fungus you've ever fucking seen. There are nasty ass people in this world. You don't know what home life people have until you go into their house. I've had friends over the years where they come to my house, they be like, damn, your house clean. Your mom clean up a lot, huh? I'm looking at them like, nigga, don't your mama? Until you go to their house and you see how people live. Everybody not raised the same as you. And that's just a fact. So to have these people out in the middle of the ocean for over 200 days with other sailors that they happen to know don't bathe, don't shave, don't shower properly, don't wipe their ass when they take a shit, you're going to get to a point where you got to get, and they're in close proximity to each other all the time. You got one, and you in the barracks. What's so crazy is you in the barracks in a room with 5 or 6 bunks in your section, because that's how it was when I was in the Army. In my section there, one room, well, it might have been 2, maybe there's 2 rooms. Like it might be a section of 6 people, and there's 2 rooms and 3 soldiers from your section is in one room, 3 is in the other room. Then again, your section might just consist of 4 or 5 people, and they cram 5 bunks and 5 wall lockers in that room. Everybody's different. I used to be having to get into fights with motherfuckers because they was dirty as hell. Hey man, why you leaving the food and and shit like that out? Next thing you know, you fighting with people because they don't know how to clean up. We got inspections all the time. We had to clean the rooms up. We used to always be worried about the motherfucker who didn't know how to shine his boots, or they would even inspect your hands. They would inspect your nails and your feet so you don't have fungus and to where your foot fucking gets so infected where they got to chop that motherfucker off. So how you going to have these people out in the middle of the ocean in the Mediterranean Sea for over 200 days and expect them to be fighting men? And they're not even feeding them. They showed some of the plates of food that they be feed. Man, this world is crazy. These elites and all these people work for the devil. It's that simple. They work for Satan. They don't give a fuck about you. They can give a fuck. Everything that these sailors is doing, these army men is doing, these Marines, these Air Force, all of you motherfuckers are as a tool. You're a means to an end for these son of bitches to steal, rape, rob, and steal all around the fucking world. And that's the reason why they have the code of conduct in the military, that you're supposed to listen to all lawful orders. See, that's where you get fucked up, is they got you thinking that you're supposed to listen to everything they say. If they tell you to go jump off a cliff, you're supposed to go do it. No, that's not a lawful order. That's why the word lawful's in there. I know you guys have seen the movie A Few Good Men. I'm pretty sure you've seen A Few Good Men. Guess who directed that? The guy I mentioned earlier who was murdered by his own son, Rob Reiner. That movie starred Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, and Jack Nicholson. And that movie was about two Marine soldiers who were given an order to discipline one of their fucking platoon mates because he couldn't fall. He kept falling out in runs. He was medically fucked up. The dude shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been at Guantanamo Bay. He shouldn't have been there. And they gave them two dudes to get his guy a code red, which is basically a blanket party. They call it blanket party in the Army, to where if somebody's fucking up the platoon and the drill sergeant's getting pissed off, you got to discipline this nigga. Hey, get your shit together. They beat your ass. A blanket party is what happened in the movie Full Metal Jacket. If you remember, Private Pyle, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, and Vincent D'Onofrio, if you don't know who he is, he plays the guy. He's the guy in the Daredevil series, playing the Kingpin, and he also was in Law and Order: Criminal Intent. That's Vincent D'Onofrio. He played Private Pyle in Full Metal Jacket. The Marines in that movie gave him a blanket party, where they subsequently put a blanket over him, tied it down so he couldn't move, and they all put bars of soap in pillowcases, and they all hit him with those soaps. And guess what? In the movie, it worked. It drove him insane, but he became a great soldier. They had to make him crazy. That movie was very, very, very poignant. If you've never seen Full Metal Jacket, directed by Stanley Kubrick, watch that shit today, because it's going to tell you what they would do. Everybody's different. You're going to get every walk of life in the military basic training. You're going to get a tough guy from the hood somewhere. You're going to get a tough guy from the country somewhere, black or white. You're going to get a nerd from somewhere. You're going to get a weirdo from somewhere. People who are not street savvy, don't know how to fight, but they're trying to become a soldier. And all of this running, they ain't used to this shit. They falling out of runs. They're not ready for it. So in order to get them up to par with the rest of the people who've been running from bullets and come from bad neighborhoods and all these different things, and they're kind of taken to becoming a soldier real easily, because that's all they've ever done is had to be soldiers in their fucking regular life. All of these kids are coming from the suburbs or the bottoms of the South or whatever. A lot of these kids they don't understand that. Becoming a soldier or a sailor for a fighting service is difficult. That's why they throw blanket parties or code reds, to get people up to par. They're changing your fucking thinking. That's why people will go to the surface and come back so different. Their parents will say it. They'll be like, man, you so damn different now. You ain't the same no more. If you watched Happy Days back in the day, when Ron Howard went to the military in Happy Days, Ron Howard went to the military in Happy Days. When he came back, he was tough as fuck. He even hit Fonzie in the face. Go look that episode up when Ron Howard's Richie Cunningham character came back from the war and he was very depressed. The nigga had PTSD. That's what it was. And he socked Fonzie in his mouth. Fonzie was like, damn, because Fonzie was the tough guy of the show. He would save them from all types of shit. But when Richie went away and became a man, so to speak, he wasn't trying to hear the shit Fonzie was saying no more. I ain't the same. He even told Fonzie that. I ain't the same dude you remember. I'm not that little redheaded kid that you can push around. People can push around. The military is going to change you. So what do you think? How the fuck do you think these people feel when they on that aircraft carrier for over 200 days with fucking nasty ass meals and they doing that 10 hours on, 10 hours off bullshit or whatever the fuck? And they can't even take a proper shower or doo-doo or nothing. This shit crazy. They got one washing machine, 2 washing machines on a ship with like 3,000 motherfuckers. Make it make sense, man. But we back here in the States bitching and complaining about the economy when them kids in there having the worst time of their life. They're going to come back scarred from their experiences being in the military. We're going to come back scarred from the experiences of having to go to the fucking grocery store and get 6 items and the items cost $80. You got 6 things that's $80. I just went to the fucking store yesterday doing my walk and fucked my knee up. Went to the store and bought 2 things of juice. What else did I get? 2 things of juice, some burger patties, a jar of best foods mayonnaise. What else? I'm trying to think of everything I got. Hold on. What else? Oh, some deli meat, some turkey meat. And I think that's pretty much. Oh yeah, I bought a couple other things. There was about like 6, 7 items. That shit was almost $50, $60. A total of 8 things. We're going through hell in a handbasket, y'all. I'm telling you. This is what I'm talking about. So to have a guy like Damon Darling, shout out to Damon Darling and what he's doing out there. Shout out to him helping people out. And then Walmart has the nerve to say you are banned from every Walmart in the United States of America because you're paying for people's groceries in our store. And then they just gave a reason for that shit. It's because he's filming. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. I got a couple of other sound bites before I get up out of here that I want you guys to listen to. And damn, I got actually a lot. Let me see. I'm gonna go to this one.
Have you noticed what happens when you stop reacting? When you quit explaining yourself? Something powerful shifts. People suddenly lose their control of you. Like it's almost immediate, and it's fascinating to watch. They don't actually need you to be silent, like they don't need your silence. What they need is your reaction, your defensiveness, your desperate attempts to be understood, your emotional outbursts. That's what they need. They feed on all of that energy. When you stop giving it to them, they have nothing to work with, nothing to manipulate, nothing to use against you. Some people unconsciously structure their entire relationships around provoking reactions from others. It gives them a sense of power, of importance. They need you upset to feel in control. The moment you stop playing that game, you take all of their power away. Not by fighting harder, but by not fighting at all. It's not about winning arguments. It's honestly about recognizing which ones aren't even worth having.
Man, that was so fucking deep right there. It's so goddamn true. If you listen back to this live stream later, key in on that. I'm actually going to do a short of this video and put it on my channel. So look for that as well. And whenever you and save that shit once you see it, because whenever you need to really understand people and their motivations, listen to something like that. So I'm glad I posted that.
Less than 24 hours after shocking reports of conditions on the USS Abraham Lincoln, it is now being relieved by the George Washington, a replacement aircraft carrier.
Now, that's very important. After playing the other soundbite about what was going on the Abraham Lincoln, this is a good news that another aircraft carrier is on the way to the region to relieve that aircraft carrier and get them people off station for over 200 fucking days.
6 American sailors. Here's a couple things you need to understand here, okay? First and foremost, what did Pete Hegseth do? What did I say he was going to do? I said they were going to lie. And here he is lying right now to our faces today from Panama, claiming that everything's misrepresented. It's all false. Really? If it's so false, then why the hell is there a replacement coming in for the Lincoln? Secondly, why does it take media attention to do the right thing for our soldiers, for our sailors? Explain that. Explain that. Everybody knew on board what was happening, how conditions had deteriorated. It's been going on for months and months and months, right? And it's because Pete Hegseth is failing at his job. Listen, I've been in the military. I'm a veteran. I can tell you it's a command failure. There is something known as command responsibility. It is intrinsic, I would say, the most fundamental component of the military itself. And it is that you are responsible for what happens beneath you, either because you did something wrong or because you were unaware and set up conditions where it could happen. So this is on Pete Hegseth. This is on Donald Trump as commander-in-chief, 100%. And you can be sure that the same failures that were in place that caused those soldiers to suffer will continue throughout the military because it is falling apart. Like I said, like I've told you, spending munitions, out of money, everything. This is really sad. Less than 20.
Yep. He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. I had to play that. He's absolutely right. And the last thing I'm going to play before I get up out of here is this. This is Malcolm X back in the 1960s on a TV program, a discussion about the conditions of the United States at that particular time. And it's about Republicans and Democrats, because I've said this before. The Republicans and Democrats it's all the same thing. There's a point. That's the reason why they had shows in your face. There used to be a show that was on CNN called Point Counterpoint, so to speak, where two diverging ideals would go back and forth, red and blue ideas. But it was all bullshit. These same two motherfuckers that's supposedly arguing about, what's right and what's right for the American people, they would leave that show and go eat together, meaning that they had no animosity for real toward each other. It was all play acting. Check this out.
A black man cannot have a white man as a friend.
He may have a white man who's friendly, but being friendly and being a friend, I think, are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. Mm-hmm. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. Mm-hmm. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out that...
And I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, mm-hmm. economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, mm-hmm. who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf. Mm-hmm. Their appetite is the same. Mm-hmm. Their motives are the same. It's only their mannerisms and methods that differ.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Never let it be said that I haven't said that Republicans and Democrats are the same fucking animal. They don't give a fuck about us. The only people that need to be giving a fuck about us is us. That's whites, blacks, all of us fucking broke. all of us who are being exploited, all of us who are being abused by whatever system you live under, whatever state, city, government, local government, whatever. We're all being oppressed by the feds. We're all being oppressed by the state level govs. We're all being fucked in the ass without Vaseline or some fucking secretion. We need to wake the fuck up. We need to realize we're being played like a bad untuned piano. We've been shitted on. And I'm tired of it, and you should be too. This your boy Dex, straight out of Los Angeles, California, on the Corner Store Podcast. Check me out next time on KSP. As I've stated, Corner Store Podcast is going to start being seen quite more often. The live streams and other live streams that I've been posting, some of them you'll never see them again. And just look for whatever I post. Hit that thumbs up. Also hit that notification bell so you'll know whenever I'm on. I'll holler at y'all.
It's just...
Yeah. 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 Speak. You made your vote, you think it count? The check you cash and shit then bounce. Egg prices really high. Damn. You worried about it, look to the sky. Damn. Praying by your bed at night. Damn. The pressure's on, the shit is tight. Damn. Your life is wrong, you living right. Damn. You wanna leave it all tonight. Nobody can help you now. Don't try to call out now. You screaming, begging, asking please. Yeah, while praying down on your knees. It won't make a bit of difference. It won't make a bit of difference. Think you safe, think you fine. Yeah, lose your sanity, lose your mind. It won't make a bit of difference. It won't make a bit of difference. You think you safe, think you fine. Lose your sanity, lose your mind. Struggling through the